Hey everyone, it's your girl Calista Love here, spilling all the tea on the latest in internet culture and news. I hope you're having a fabulous day. But today, the situation in Minnesota has not resolved as of this recording. I'm sure you know the tragic happenings by now with Renee Good, ICE agent Jonathan Ross, and the anarchy that has been erupting in the streets between leftists and federal agents. It's been complete chaos, and it's frustrating to watch, knowing that the American people will probably never see true accountability or justice for what is occurring in Minnesota. The echoes of 2020 are hard to ignore. Even with the media running cover for the violent agitators in the streets of Minneapolis, they frame perpetrators as victims, good police officers as hateful thugs, and burning buildings as freedom of speech. And once you see through the veil of bureaucratic propaganda, having to watch your friends and family who still believe this crap is the most frustrating part. But luckily, we live in a day and age where citizen journalism is prospering, thanks to platforms like Rumble, X, Instagram, and even YouTube. The mainstream media, on the other hand, has seen better days, and for good reason. But not all mainstream journalists are bought and paid for Soviet-style propagandists. Some, even at the behest of the corporations that provide them with a healthy paycheck, still speak truth to power and push back against the corrupted mainstream narrative. We have a few clips lined up today from a monologue on Jesse Watters' Primetime, where not only is Jesse Watters pushing back against the mainstream narrative, but he is calling out the actions of these violent leftist agitators in Minnesota and calling it exactly what it is: acts of war. Let's dive in.
From here on out, it's J6 every night in Minneapolis, after the call went out from Governor Walz.
And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record.
Timmy came out last night and told the mommy mob to hit the streets and stalk agents with cameras. The only thing you're not allowed to record are Somali fraud rings. This time, the crowd looked a little gnarlier, if you can believe it. It looked like a big Antifa reunion. And they were doing a lot more than just recording. They broke into an FBI vehicle and used a tow rope to rip out a weapons locker.
We just watched them rip the weapons locker out of the FBI vehicle yesterday. Go check out my video if you haven't seen it. This is nuts. If we would have heard about mobs of people stealing federal weapons 20 years ago, it would have been an insane story. Now it's just another weekday. Leftist rioting and violence is a pattern at this point.
Masked vigilantes looted the car, stole a weapon, bulletproof vests, and stacks of sensitive government documents. These documents had names of federal agents and their locations. The rioters immediately exploited the intel and began doxing agents online. This was a major intelligence breach. Homan just announced they've arrested the perpetrator, and he's going to face felony charges. But countless federal agents' lives are now in danger. Meanwhile, Homan's family's getting death threats, and the ICE agent who got rammed by Renee was forced into hiding. And left-wing militants are joining forces, threatening the lives of federal police. Here are the Black Panthers.
I put a size of a window. We're a little more aggressive now, you dig? You want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher, you meet him with equal force.
The mentality of a slave catcher? You mean your ancestors who sold your other ancestors into slavery? How do you even know what their mentality is? I mean, if I had to guess, their mentality sounds a lot like fuck bitches get money. But I'm just a white digital e-girl residing in the upper-class utopia of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. So I had better check my privilege and wash this Black Panther man's feet while sobbing over my lack of melanin, rather than speak on this issue. Yay, I'm a good guy now. Jesse Watters mentions repeatedly how these peaceful protesters broke into an FBI vehicle, stole weapons, bulletproof vests, and intel, and then distributed said intel to their comrades. But this is just democracy in action. It's not like when President Trump violently commanded his army of Cheetos to peacefully and patriotically make their voices heard.
Yesterday, ICE was attacked by a group of violent Biden migrants. 3 Venezuelan nationals jumped an ICE agent with weapons. All 3 were caught and released by Biden and had been harbored in the sanctuary city of Minneapolis. Julio was the target. A traffic stop turned into a vehicle pursuit. He crashed, then fled on foot. When the agent caught him, his 2 Venezuelan amigos came out and started hitting the agent with a snow shovel and a broom handle. The officer was forced to fire off a defensive shot, hitting Julio in the leg, before the 3 of them ran into an apartment and barricaded themselves inside. Eventually, they all got iced. But this hombre, Julio, doesn't seem like he has any regrets. Here he is grinning ear to ear at the hospital.
Jesse, he's grinning because I just shit out a couple of his babies to ensure he can remain in the country and make his voice heard. For our democracy, obviously. Duh.
They're using the word occupation for federal officials to be in an American city. By their logic, the whole country is being occupied by the Trump administration. And their solution is to violently expel them. Mayor Small Fry is justifying the insurrection.
Imagine if that city or that town was suddenly invaded by thousands of federal agents that do not share the values that you hold dear.
The invaders who don't hold our values are the illegals. They're saying federal police don't have the right to be in Minneapolis, but MS-13 does?
Yeah, that's exactly what they are saying. For years, the American people have tried to compromise. We have listened, attempted to reason with, and some of us may have even sympathized with parts of the left's worldview, regardless of whether we agree with it or not. And that is what a healthy individual does. We try to meet one another halfway. It would be rather rare to meet a person who agrees with you on literally everything. It is natural to compromise. It is our way of life. Sure, there are times where being uncompromising is necessary, but that is a specific time, place, and circumstance. For these leftist extremists, however, this is the mindset they walk around in constantly, and then they worry about their mental health. Their mentality is all or nothing. They have to have their way, and there is no room for meeting in the middle. You are either with them or you are against them. And if you are against them, these radicals will perform mental gymnastics to highlight any dissent as evil. And therefore, any actions the left takes against dissent are, in their minds, justified. So, as sick as it sounds, no, Jesse. In their minds, federal agents are not allowed in Minneapolis. That is, until one of their own is at the head of the chain of command.
Trump's considering invoking the Insurrection Act in Minnesota, sending in the Guard. This is a battle of wills. The stakes are high. Can the federal government enforce immigration law like the country voted for? Or will sanctuary states dominate and become third world fortresses inside of America? Minnesota is demanding unlimited flows of foreigners and fraud. And if the federal government tries to stop it, they'll be met with violence. This is a Minnesota insurgency. They're conducting guerrilla warfare against federal agents, tailing them, sabotaging them, ramming them, assaulting them, stealing weapons, and harboring foreign fugitives and fraudsters. And the most grotesque thing about it is that they're forcing women onto the front lines. Now, if the federal government doesn't assert authority over this rebellion, the republic is going to fracture. Other sanctuary states will use the same playbook, forcing federal immigration agents out of their states and harboring migrants for cheap labor, votes, and welfare money. A coalition of sanctuary city-states, impenetrable by the federal government, will bring down the country. And that's what they want.
I sadly have to agree with Jesse Waters here. Well, really all of it. It's scary, the times in which we live. We absolutely should be in a golden age, and that's with or without Trump. We have it really good in the United States, and there is more than enough opportunity and space for us all to prosper. But some, perhaps by nature, feel the need to pull the ladder up behind them. Sad. But what do you think? Have we reached a point where even parts of the mainstream are calling actions by specific American citizens and foreigners alike acts of war? Have we crossed the line? Or is there a peaceful way out of this civil strife? A cause that would rally all Americans behind it? Who knows what the future holds? Just hold your loved ones close. Don't be afraid to speak what is on your mind. And I will keep you and the world in my prayers. I would like to take a moment to thank everyone for the love and support that you have shown my channel. Seeing that you all have taken the time to spend part of your day with me, it truly warms my heart. My promise to you is that I will deliver consistent and quality content every single day. All opinions within community guidelines are welcome here. That is the only way we get closer to the truth, by having uncomfortable conversations. This is Calista Love, signing off. Stay kind, stay fabulous, and I'll catch you next time. God bless you. Mwah. Bye-bye.